I was activist very long ago. I think it started when I lived in Germany, and it was part of the movement for a better world. I now just help with the logistics. So in the week before, during the action, and in the week afterwards, I have time. I'm retired, so I have very much time, and I help. The most thing I do is transporting things or people to a place, there, and then and back. Code Rouge is a movement of big direct actions and against companies which are involved in the use of fossil fuels. Here are 3 targets. It's Total Energies, it's ENGIE, French companies, and it's against private airports.
76 euro. En dan per vergissing was dat 100 euro. En dan had ik gebeld.
Should actions be less invasive in a way?
They should be invasive. And it's very difficult. How can you be invasive and to get good media? Huh? The picture is the most important thing. Huh? What do you see? And the picture should be very clear. Huh? There is a thing I like very well. The book is standing there. It's a beautiful trouble. Huh? Mm-hmm. We have to make trouble, but in some kind it must be beautiful. Huh?
And do you have any expectations for today as the first day?
No. No, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I have to go. I don't know. But I know it's planned. It's okay, and it's afterwards. It's amazing.
Right, so we're still in Ghent. We're currently having one last little coffee before we go. We slept at Renfried's for another night, and we woke up to the information of where the briefing was going to be. So after this, we're going to get on our way, start hitchhiking, and hope it all goes well. Cheers to that. This will be the hitchhiking point. Then we need to manage to get around this corner, and we're pretty much fine as long as we stay on this highway. There's a large petrol station right here before, yeah, that's the one, before it gets into Brussels, so we should get some traffic, and then as soon as we get on this highway, it kind of goes straight to Nivelles, and we can be thrown out wherever we want.
I help my family in Pakistan, my mother, sister, family. I am very happy. If I stay in my country, believe me, it will be another life.
Mm-hmm.
made it to Nivelles. It took us 2 cars and, I don't know, 3 hours. We had a good little trip because we're not sure the support team's going to be able to come in. We know we have to go to the train station, but don't know the actual spot, so we'll be taken by a car.
So what are we doing?
We're sitting. Oh yeah, we're sitting. We're waiting for a car. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We had dinner.
How many people?
I don't know. Many? About 50 left.
I don't know seems to be the most common answer I keep getting.
Yeah, I don't know, it's representative.
Generalni dojam je da su ljudi itekako u strahu od policije, zato što je pretpostavka generalno da postoji netko ili više ljudi koji su u civilu i unutar akcije, tako da ljudi manje više pričaju samo s ljudima koji znaju od prije ili o temama koje nisu povezane uz akciju. Dva ujutro je, osjeća se itekako uzbuđenje i lagana napetost. Svi se u tišini spremamo, idemo na doručak i akcija napokon službeno kreće. Prošli smo otprilike 18 km od 2 sata ujutro do sada je nekih 7. Svi smo užasno znojni, bole nas noge, ljudi su padali po podu, hodalo se kroz šumu, kroz mrkli mrak, ali evo napokon smo na cesti i približavamo se cilju.
Things went well. We were just being stalked by the police once in a while, and there was a helicopter looking out for us. We met up with another finger. They're waiting to know if the electricity is off to set up the blockade. And for now, some things are being set up. There's some music somewhere. People are napping. I'm eating hummus. The sun is shining. Life is kinda good, also a bit tired.
I'm here because I still hope that this action can be a part in achieving something like climate justice. Because yeah, doing nothing is obviously worse than doing something in this kind of regard.
And do you think we're achieving anything by this?
I do, because I mean, even if you know you don't really turn things around massively, I think it helps the issue to stay on the agenda in a certain kind of way. And of course, it also, to this, what happens here shows that if you ignore the issue completely, that yeah, such things can occur and cost you money as a polluter. So it can really provide an incentive, I would say. And also, of course, like every action you do and every message you spread can reach more people and lead to a growth of the movement.
Do you think that protests actually make any change?
Protesting only, no. I don't think that's they're like assessing our demands and everything, and like I think we're living in like in European state that like are stated as like fully democratic and everything, but like this is simply not true, you know, like they're not respecting any of our demands. There's like like protests don't really change anything, and like I think we should go for something a bit more like disruptive. Yeah.
Ici, ce qui m'intéresse, c'est le fait que c'est un mouvement de désobéissance civile. On ne peut pas être ici.
D'accord.
Mais a priori non violent.
Oui, oui.
Donc on est prêt à résister à la police, mais moi je ne suis pas prêt à aller attaquer la police là-bas. Je ne sais pas si tu vois la nuance. Hein? Ça, c'est mon opinion, hein? Ce n'est pas nécessairement l'opinion de la majorité.
And why is it so important for you to participate in protests?
Because oui, depuis le Covid, on parle presque plus du climat. Et donc quand on voit dans les élections qu'on vient d'avoir au niveau fédéral, il n'y a plus aucun parti, peut-être sauf Écolo, qui a encore parlé du climat et de l'explosion, parce qu'on continue à exploiter le pétrole, on continue à chercher des sites, on va même forer dans la mer et des tas de choses comme ça. Donc c'est important de reprendre ce mouvement.
We wanted to raise awareness also on the local impact of Total here in Belgium and here in Wallonia because of these millions of tons of pellets that are produced here, and it also impacts the local environment, the water, the land. And so as much as we wanted to talk about the international aspect of the impact of Total around the world, that's why we put the flags there. We have 7 beautiful flags that you can play a Guess Who game with, but also it was important for us to talk about the local impact.
I think we need change makers in all levels. We need change makers in these places and this kind of actions. And we also need allies in the political era. We also need allies in the industry. We need allies everywhere to be able to actually do the change that we want to have. Because it is very powerful what we do, and it can influence many people, but not everyone. And unfortunately, the people who need to change are somewhere higher up. And we need them to agree with what we want.
Sagorijevanjem fosilnih goriva dolazi do emisija CO2 u atmosferu, što onda doprinosi zagrijavanju planete. I to vidimo ovih dana, odnosno zadnjih nekoliko već godina, u pojačanim vremenskim neprilikama i klimatskim katastrofama koje pogađaju, ja bih sad rekao, mislim da gotovo u svim dijelovima svijeta. Dakle, ne možemo čak ni izdvojiti da je negdje više manje. Sada su te nepogode prisutne svuda na planeti. Ja sam Gordan Bosanac, zastupnik u Europskom parlamentu u grupaciji Europskih zelenih, a dolazim iz stranke Možemo iz Hrvatske. Sada nedavno smo na odboru za peticije imali upravo jedan slučaj gdje su se udruge koje se bore protiv naftne lobija industrije žalile kako Europska komisija premalo daje informacija kada i koliko se sastaje sa naftnom industrijom, dok, na primjer, daje puno informacija kada se sastaje sa duhanskom industrijom. Znači, duhanska industrija je na neki način stavljena pod puno veću lupu nego li naftna, koja još uvijek ima tu neku privilegiranu situaciju da možda može poslati SMS i direktno dogovoriti sastanak. Srećom, uspjeli smo sačuvati tu peticiju i tjeramo i dalje komisiju da nas redovno izvještava što i kako se nose sa lobijima fosilne industrije. Tako da mislim da je u stvari komisija tu puno veći problem nego parlament. I klimatski aktivisti i ljudskopravaški se uvijek konfrontiraju sa užasno moćnim kompanijama ili sa užasno moćnim državama ili sa užasno moćnim individuama i na taj način ne bi se začudio da nekad postoji ta sprega interesnih skupina unutar vlasti i interesnih privatnih skupina. To je pogubno za demokraciju, volio bi da u demokratskim zemljama toga nema, ali vidimo da, nažalost, u nekim tradicionalnim zapadnim demokracijama vidimo baš brutalno ophođenje prema klimatskim aktivistima. Prošli saziv Europskog parlamenta nastao je na klimatskim prosvjedima i to treba vrlo jasno reći. To što su se mlade generacije, Fridays for Future se najviše spominjao, podigle, odradile su ogroman posao osvještavanja, pogotovo mladi ljudi, javnosti, što se dešava sa klimom. I tada je to nekako sjelo prije 5 godina na način da se tema shvaćanja klimatske katastrofe ozbiljno shvatila u čitavom nizu političkih stranaka. Isto tako to je jako dobro rezoniralo sa biračima diljem Europske unije, pa su onda neke stranke vrlo pragmatično rekle ok, to ljudi vole, ajmo i mi malo biti zeleni. I na temelju tog vala koje su u stvari potakli prosvjedi vezani za klimu je nastao zadnji saziv Europskog parlamenta kada je u stvari kroz parlament doneseno čitav niz, ja bih rekao, vrlo važnih i progresivnih zakona. Prvenstveno je to dotaknulo velike industrije, na primjer da vi ne možete više krčiti šume i porezati pola Amazone da bi, ne znam, dizali nekakve pogone tamo i radili neku drugu vrstu proizvodnje. I ti veliki igrači su se počeli osjećati malo ugroženi tim uvjetima vezani za zelenu tranziciju i onda su naprosto počeli isto kroz svoj lobby i kroz različite, ja bih rekao, i političke spinove, plasirati informacije da je to sve nerealno, da možda to nije tako više ni opasna ta klimatske promjene, da je to sve preskupo, da to sve predugo traje, potpuno lažne. Ali taj narativ se na neki način uhvatio i u stvari mi smo pred ove izbore imali potpuno drugu situaciju nego što je bilo prije 5 godina kada je klima bila top tema i nažalost umjesto da i dalje top tema, jer evo, danas je jučer u Valenciji preko 90 ljudi stradalo, klima je postala tema na kojoj ćeš, tako kažeš, dobiti batina, ne?
It is very hard to look at the videos that we have been seeing from all across the country, and particularly this one video we're going to show you, which you may have seen, and not conclude that there is something deeply broken in the culture of policing.
Rouge is a movement that includes a lot of organizations, and we have supporting organizations, we have active organizations, and we try to do all the decisions consensus-wise, so like everyone agrees on what happens. And like there are different levels, but we still try to keep our movement horizontal. We have the spokes councils, which is again an idea that is very horizontal. So we have affinity groups, that's like a must to have. So everyone at the action is involved in an affinity group. They basically a little group of people taking care of each other, and they are represented at the spokes council.
Okay, so this was just like the 1.5 hour meeting with a bunch of updates and questions for decisions. So the practical updates were on food. So we got food, but they weren't sure that they were going to be able to bring the food. We defined borders where the police will not be allowed to enter. And so to kind of seal that with tents, have people there. The thing is that the police said as long as we stay here, they will leave us in peace until Sunday and nothing's going to happen. If we go further in, there's federal police. So here we just have local police, the federal police and everything. They're all inside the plant. Then we talked about the exit plan. So for now, the main exit plan is tomorrow at noon, where we meet up with the other fingers and then all leave together in one big demonstration.
Come on,
Dobro jutro. Sinoć je situacija bila dosta uzburkana jer se pretpostavljalo da bi nas policija mogla napasti tijekom noći. Sva sreća nije, a sada je 8 ujutro i vraćamo se nazad radu.
I'm here at this action as part of the care team, community care. That's a working group in Rouge, and we try to make sure that activists are okay mentally. We make sure that everyone has someone to go to. We make sure that people feel cared for. Sometimes it's just very small things. Do you have a soap? That I get a question this morning, but sometimes it can be like a bit more intense, like for example when we have some confrontation with police that fortunately didn't happen this time. People can get panic attack or anything like that, and we are there to make sure that people are okay after that. All these things that we do is bringing stress. It's very high stress, and we need to deal with that. In many places we are misrepresented, and misrepresented because on the other side of us or against us there is a huge machine with a lot of money, and it's so easy to say that, oh, these people are against the small people who are using cars. It's not the case. We don't want everyone right now to stop using cars. That's not the goal. We want a system change that actually includes everyone.
How do you feel about the way that media represents actions, climate protests, etc.?
I don't think the representation is good enough, because we are represented as young people, like being angry about something, but they don't really explain why it's important to be angry about this. And I think also the media usually like give a point of view that it's how we can act as an individual, and they don't say how enterprises can act as like the main reason that the global warming is like going faster and everything is increasing that fast. So I think you have to summarize that it's not only because those people are just like trying to stop you from using your car, from taking planes, from like recycle or like trying to get you to recycle, but to show that the global warming is not because of individual. Like it is, of course, in a very, very small scale, but on a bigger scale, it's the enterprises and how our country give money to those enterprises or other stuff.
What is something that you would like to see as a change in how media represents climate activism?
I feel it would be nice to have like a real understanding of why people are doing it, and not just showing reality, because reality, you choose what it's like. Even as a journalist, as like a videographer or anything, an editor, you choose what is your reality of this. So I think journalism is supposed to be and should be really about like showing all the ways you can see it. More positivity about why we're doing this, and less shame about people like doing stuff and moving themselves to places and putting themselves in danger or in trouble for a good cause. Not shaming them, and not shaming them on basic of like small violent actions, but see the bigger picture that people are enjoying this and they do make a difference, and we need to make a difference.
Okay, what are you doing?
So we look like we're leaving that way. Then we all turn around. The last one starts pushing the wagon. I'm part of the ones pushing it. Then we turn back, we run, we leave with the finger, get our backpack on the way. And then we just kind of like, the ones who were pushing are kind of in the affinity group, where we are part of the finger.
mostly have still this, maybe people would argue, a romanticized image, but an image of that, yeah, actually a lot of people are not egoistic in their core, but that, you know, we are able to achieve something like a just society, and that actually it's something, you know, if it's like something that seems realistic, people will also strive for.
One action like this won't change the tide, but one action like this just adds something to that glass of water, and then when we have a lot of drops in it, then it will overflow.